Hello guys, how you doing again? Welcome back to Pit Lane's Sim Racing. Last night as I was going to bed I saw this tweet and it was from NASCAR 21 Ignition saying that they'd heard us loud and clear and here was the road ahead for the title. And I'm super interested to know what they've got in store. Is it what we've been waiting for? Are they going to crush loads of bugs? I'm not sure, but they're also going to have a Town Hall inspired Q&A on January 24th. So diehard NASCAR fans, do make sure you're getting involved in that and asking the questions you want to. But moving on to the notes that we have so far, let's look at the upcoming releases that they've said they've got coming in January. Patch 1.4.0.0, including stages and private parties and DLC 3. February is going to be patch 1.4.5.0, including the next gen car test mode and shaky cam toggle in settings, and April will be 1.5.0.0 with PS5 and Xbox Series X and S upgrade. Motorsport Games team is hard at work on several updates to NASCAR 21 Ignition. In addition to various fixes and quality of life improvement, there are also a number of community requested features that should be coming to the game soon. Now, again, I realise lots of people have given up here on this title. I've got to hope, given the amount of time since the previous patch, that there is a serious amount of quality of life improvements coming to the title. Now, the big one for me is wheel options. They simply must improve the options for configuring your wheel within the game, because at the moment it is way too basic and it simply doesn't work properly. It doesn't. I don't care what anyone says. You can bring things in from rFactor 2 and sort of fudge it to work, but it should work in the game natively. It's that simple. But we'll get on to wish lists very soon indeed. So let's look at what they've got coming to us in 1.4.0. Stages. You can turn stages on in both Race Now and Career when rules are turned on. Stage points are awarded, as well as playoff points for each stage win. Stage laps are accurate to NASCAR's expected stage lengths for each event and are scaled for shorter race distances. Actual yellow flag laps between stages are not counted to give the player more laps of green flag racing, especially at the shorter race distances. If a yellow flag comes out prior to a stage end, the stage will be deemed finished and get the user ready for the next stage via a caution period. Now, I'm going to be completely transparent and open and honest here. My main interest in NASCAR is from a sim racing perspective. I'm not even going to lie and pretend I understand stages or their purpose in particular, because I'm just a racing fan and I want to be involved as sort of a casual sim racer in NASCAR. But I know stages has been heavily requested, and as people have said, it should have been in since the beginning. So I believe that this is a really big step forward in feature list, even though it should have been in from the beginning. I think a lot of people will be happy that it's been included. And private parties. You can now set your party to private once you've got at least 6 players in there. Now, I'm seeing a lot of backlash from this, saying, why is it 6? I feel like people wanted that to be a lot lower. It's a welcome inclusion, but having 6 players in, I'm seeing people are complaining about that. Corner cutting. If you cut corners on road courses when racing online, your lap will be invalidated. The same penalty is applied in race now or career mode when racing with rules turned on, so make sure you stick to the racetrack. If you go off accidentally, just make sure you're not gaining an advantage by the time you rejoin the action. So to me, that sounds like a fairly sort of standard track cutting thing that they've got going on there. If you go off the track, don't keep it pinned. Drop back a little bit and you should be okay. Welcome, very welcome. That's always welcome in any title for me. But yeah, just a recap of those 1.4 advances. Now, they're talking features, and I think that people will be generally happy about the features, but the things people care about most a sort of quality of life and bug fixing. And I really, really want to know what's within that list. I get it if the patch isn't maybe actually going to come out for a couple of weeks. I understand that they're maybe not going to release an exhaustive list of that because it's probably still quite dynamic and fluid, and they're probably working on as much as they possibly can to get out in the January patch. But I really, really hope, personally, that there's wheel stuff in there. Let's look ahead at February and what they've said is going to be in there. A next-gen test mode. Be one of the first to experience the generation of NASCAR, the next generation of NASCAR Cup Series stock cars. The new next-gen test mode is free to all players and takes you to Daytona and allows you to take the wheel of the Live Fast Ford Mustang, where you can spend time getting to know the car at the most iconic racetrack on the NASCAR Cup Series calendar. So that's quite cool that they're bringing that in. That you get to test the next gen car. Now you can also switch off camera shake in the options in update 1.4.5. I can't say that's a thing I'm being particularly bugged by. Update 1.5 will bring you a upgrade so that if you're playing on an old generation of console, you'll be able to play on PS5 and Xbox Series X while also still playing with people on the older generation. Feature in progress for potential future update. Custom schemes online. Take your best paint booth schemes online in the Shake and Bake and Bump and Run playlist. Just head online and choose your custom paint scheme. That's pretty cool in itself. Now let's look ahead at potential future quality of life improvements that I'd like to see and other people from the community would like to see. Twitter user Boris Dukulagin said what's needed. Number 1, virtual rear view mirror for all cameras. Kind of agree there. Virtual rear view mirror is pretty much just a standard thing, isn't it? In all sims, all racing games, it's just a thing. I don't really use one, but it should be in there anyway. And I suppose in NASCAR, where you're super close to people, it should be in there, right? Normal HUD for all cameras and a full cockpit dashboard. Again, I agree. Speaks for itself. Pit stop in manual mode. Agree. Control settings, especially the steering wheel. That's my biggest thing. Give me all of my steering wheel options. I know it's there. They just need to put it into the front end. All the stuff is there because it was in R-Factor 2, and if they're bringing things over, it's there. Mini map with the position of the riders / drivers. I'm not so bothered about that, but I can see that. An interface for telemetry. That would be pretty cool as well. I'd like to know what you guys want in the comments. What do you want put into the game? Now, for me, I feel like they must know how badly they've missed sort of the target on this game, and I'm hoping against hope that the quality of life improvements that they're going to deploy in January and the coming months are going to be gigantic, because I'm really, really bothered about the British touring car game that's coming up, and I really hope they've learnt lessons from this going forward, and that they can use sort of what they've learnt from moving onto the new environment and things like that moving forward. But they simply must address the steering wheel issues, because they're going to lose so many people if they don't sort that. And general quality of life things. But do let me know what you think in the comments section, guys. I hope we see a lot more from this title. I really, really do. Please make sure you hit those thumbs up buttons, and I'll see you soon. Cheers. Thank you to the patrons shown on screen now. If you would like to help me create more content just like this, then please do consider going over to the Patreon page, which is linked in the description, and pledging. Cheers, guys.